What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description, as well as today is it, guys. It's the 30th, last day to take advantage of the best promotion Webull has to offer. All you got to do, click that link, open an account. You're going to get a free stock valued between $300 to $300. If you don't want to invest, fine. Sell the stock, clear it out of your account, get the money back. It's literally free money. And I got to say, I'm coming to you very humble today, very apologetic. EA has capped back, as the kids would say, and honestly, my reputation, my integrity is really on the line here, so I'm going to make this as clear as I can. Demo puts out a tweet that says, EA is the laziest ever. Odell hasn't had this hair color since 2019, and yesterday had been going pretty good for me, really. I mean, it had a lot of views, a lot of community support, so I take this tweet here, and I say, don't have time for details like this. Sean Grady playing God of War for hours. Okay, now this in the beginning, while I had it on the stove, was simmering pretty well. Like, people were responding. I felt pretty good about myself. But little did I know that not since Ravishing Rick has somebody had a rude awakening like the one I was about to have. Because EA is over in the corner and they're conspiring against me to come and attack my character and my credibility. And I gotta say, I was wrong. I was wrong, and Demo, you were wrong, and hopefully when I approach the community for both of us, I'm speaking on behalf of you, if that's okay, we can ask for forgiveness and have our integrity back. Because after I quoted this tweet, believe it or not, Dustin, my guy, literally, my guy Dustin, this is always business. It's not personal. He puts up a post that says this is literally what his hair and beard look like right now. Like they're on the sofa, just chilling, hanging out, right? He sends a picture of his Instagram to validate that his hair is in fact accurate in the game. And this is a lesson for everyone in the community. No one is too big, no one is too small. If you think that you can just come into this community, start lollygagging around, and get players' hair color wrong, guess what, sunshine? Somebody's going to be there to call you out. Now, thankfully, I can sit here and own my mistake, and say that I should have known, perhaps, what Odell Beckham Jr.'s hair color was, and I was wrong for assuming that Madden did have it right. But you can also see that after all this, Demo responds and says, listen, it's pretty crazy you guys can address his hair color, but ignore the fact that player models and gameplay are terrible, and this game has no replay value. But you know what, Demo? We've learned something very important today, right? Very important, and that is that there's certain things that we don't know about or care about that matter, right? And when you insinuate, and when I co-sign on it, that a player's hair color is wrong, it matters when the hair color is right, because that's a little detail. But EA nailed it. EA has it out of the park, right? They're actually using a player's Instagram to show us that both you and me are wrong. And that's why I'm here, humbly, mind you, to apologize to everyone about not knowing yesterday Odell Beckham Jr.'s hair color, right? I know there's some people, this will not be something they can forgive, that I should know every player's hair color at all times. I did not honestly know Odell Beckham Jr.'s hair color yesterday. And, this is the price that people pay. Sean Grady. Like I said, I know Sean big into God of War. And when I look at his profile here, I'm reminded, right? I'm reminded of the art of war. I'm reminded of how cunning and crafty this man is. Because at first glance, you see that he has the Madden 20 header, right? And you may say to yourself, how does a guy who works on this game not actually pay attention to details? Set aside the hair color thing for a minute. How does he not pay attention to details to update his header when the game he works on has went 2 years into the future? Now, I would say that's a valid point, but God of War Sean Grady actually knew that Pat Mahomes was going to be on the cover this year again, so technically this isn't as wrong as you thought it was, right? Now, last year, absolutely. This year, only about half wrong. Only has the number wrong. Now, step further. Think about who we're dealing with here. Next level, right? Executive producer for Madden NFL, right? Doesn't put the year. Think about this. This is, for some of you, right? For some of you, This is not Connect 4 like Madden is. This is actual chess. This is like Uno, right? It's real hardcore. The fact that he's not putting the year in there because he doesn't want to put himself in that box where every year he has to go update the year, he's just going to put Madden NFL. And that makes the cover. That makes the cover photo irrelevant because it's right. And these are the things you have to pay attention to when you're in this community and you say the wrong thing about a player's hair color. And thankfully, there's checks and balances in this community. And when you make mistakes like this, someone is going to hold you accountable. And today, thankfully, I got held accountable for my mistake. Now, with all that out of the way, that also means when EA Sports get things wrong, they have to be held accountable. This is where the fun starts, right? This is where, you could paint a God of War of what if I really put that up and I knew that it was wrong because I wanted to get a response. And it's interesting that you pay attention to me when I talk about a player's hair color that's wrong. I get a response from that. When I talk about how bad your game is, when we talk about that 0.2 user score, well, I don't get that same response now, do I? Isn't that something? Right? When I dissect your trailer, I don't get a response about how that's not correct. But God forbid you come at a player's hair color wrong. That is grounds for being responded to. Now, I will say, like I said, just business, not personal. So hopefully the outcome of this is, number one, for all you little keyboard warriors out there that say EA doesn't listen to what I have to say and doesn't care about my criticism and they don't respond and I'm just an angry man yelling at the cloud. Well, here's proof. I can get something as minutely wrong as a player's hair color and they're going to come after me. And I'm going to be man enough to sit here and tell you that I was wrong about the player's hair color. However, this also means all these other criticisms we have, Sean, all these other little issues we have, even right down to that trailer, Clint. I know that you guys watch this content. I know that people show you this content. Hopefully, we can get the same level of accountability from you that I have today, and better yet, the same type of response when you do have something wrong in your game to go and correct it. See, this is how communities work. This is how things actually change for the better. This is how people interact with each other in a good way. Hey, you said something about me that wasn't right, and I want you to know that it was wrong. And then that person says, hey, you're absolutely right. I was wrong. I'm going to own up to it, and I'm going to apologize. And I'm going to do it publicly so that everyone knows I was wrong. And they can know that not only I was wrong, you were right. This is the start of a great relationship. This is a start of mending a fence, I hope, with EA Sports. All I had to do was not know a player's hair color, and everything would start to fall into place to be right in getting this game back on track. Now, if only half of you that work at this company would unblock me on Twitter, maybe then, and only then, could we start to have other conversations about things that are wrong with the game. And hey, if I'm wrong, I'll come in here and tell you that I'm wrong. But if you are wrong, then you have to make your game better. With that said, and this new knowledge of how things are going to go in the future, when you're wrong, you're wrong. You know I will be back in the week to win back my integrity and my pride, because obviously it's been damaged on this, with more commentary.